Hello YouTube, Gamer_23 here, and welcome back to 1860 Munich with the Youth Challenge. And today here in episode 13, we have a little bit of mutiny on our hands. We have quite a few upset players. Does that deter our fantastic season here in our second year in the second Bundesliga? We also go through team cohesion. Why is it not growing? The schedules I have in place, and what do we do in order to change that? Is it just the fact that the players are just too young to cohese together? I don't know, because really at a young age I felt like I cohesed with my friends very well. So yeah, anyhow, it does not matter. We'll go through all that and more, and we'll give another little cheeky preview to the youth intake, but that won't be in this episode. That will be in episode 14. If you are enjoying the content though, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are doing the youth challenge, let me know who you're doing it with in the comment section down below. But as always, live on Twitch, links are down below. You can come follow me there, where you can watch all this action live, plus other games that we do obviously play as well on Twitch, and hopefully I will see you there. Let's go in and see exactly what mutiny. YouTube, episode 13 here, and Damo would have done his intro, and straight off the bat, we're into some dramas here with 1860 Munich. We are copping a lot of complaints, and this is the thing with young kids, is that they can sometimes just be swayed and whatever. Muller's causing the biggest stink out of everyone. He's been getting bids of like 30 to 40k from like clubs that are in and around our division, or like Schalke that are newly promoted, all those sort of teams. He's a guy I want to keep because he's my own like homegrown keeper, but there's obviously some glaring issues with him. You know, he's mentally not the best keeper. Let's be honest here, physically not yet at the level. But when you look at like just the pure goalkeeping stats of handling, kicking, and one-on-ones, he's going to be fantastic, right? So you want a guy like this to stay for as long as possible. He's a guy I can sell because he came from our own youth academy, but there's obvious other reasons why we need to play him a lot more than what he's been playing, because of this. I don't know why. I've never had an issue with club vision of using the youth players. Usually when you sign guys that are 18 years or younger, they count to playing them as your youth system. I do not know why that this is being an issue. Unless it's trying to pick up that all the 17-year-olds that have turned professional aren't now my youth players. I don't know. So at the minute I'm trying, we just got one game back from the mid-season break. I'm going to try and play a few of the younger kids throughout the team. The thing is though, he's not the only one being upset. I've got a bunch of people looking to get upset. Andy wants to leave. I don't want to particularly sell Andy. I feel like Andy could be a very good backup centre back for me for the number of seasons, because I still don't think we're going to go up this season, but it is a big possibility. And I think Andy's going to go into a decent centre back that can definitely do it at the level. I can't loan him because it means he won't become homegrown. So it's either sell him or not. Johnny DeClute came in and literally straight away said, I want to leave, because he's not playing as a rotationary player. Leads me to my next problem. All the guys we just signed are on contracts that we agreed for 2 years ago when we were in the third division. Guys like Gaston Ramirez, who's going to become upset. He actually had a very good game in his debut, to be fair. Gaston. Or Gerardo. Gaston obviously is the one that played in the 10. Hence why when I see Ramirez, I'm like, Gaston Ramirez. Yeah, back in the division below, you could get away with a guy that had 5 vision, but those sort of physicals and the mentals are all like 9s and that, because they developed and, they were not bad. This is a guy that's not an important player that's going to be upset, but I can't change that because he's just newly signed. I've got a problem here at the football club that a lot of the signings we made, important players, just aren't doing the business. De Freitas is 18, and Ella Federitas is younger than him and better. So, he's an important player, but is he going to be upset? I've played him enough off the bench, so that's fine. The guys like Ricardo Melderendez hasn't been upset yet, but this is a guy that could arguably be my best fullback if I gave him game time. And I really wanted to be fair. But then there's Freeman, who's been doing unbelievably well. All right? And so I'm getting all these guys that are getting upset. I'm not doing enough of my club vision, apparently. And I've got people like Morano's coming as a squad player. He's never going to be good enough. Maybe down the division below because he had pace. Yeah. But now that I've got players that have grown into better footballers, all the guys that we've just signed have not been that good, because they're being compared to the squad that is developed, not the squad that we scouted for. So Wayne Shackleton might be the outlier because he looks fantastic, right? And Patrick obviously got to be the outlier because he's probably going to start for me. Yeah, but you got a guy like Rayner who's coming in as a regular starter. I think he's not going to be a good enough centre back, especially if we go up. And I think Chen Yu Han's coming in as a squad player or a regular starter. And there's good physicals. He's usable, but he's not of the level of the guys that we have here. Even the fact that Tin's joined a year before him, right? Who's my backup striker. Tin has developed, is not looking like it there. By the way, this has been a big recurring theme. Players get upset, for whatever reason, the whole squad then declines, and then when the players are happy, everyone grows. And it just is this vicious cycle that they never grow. They're just plateaus. It's not nice. Don't know what this hand movement was. But yeah, I've got some issues. So the reason why I'm live with Mike, do I just cut losses. I think Muller's not a go, but like, do I just turn around and go to like, I go to like Andy, you know what, screw it. You weren't homegrown at the club because you're not a youth player. Just sell him and like Berger's going to get more minutes, right? And we just start making the team a little bit more youth intake player, which is not a bad thing, you know. Do I start just going, you know what, Miranda's not going to be good enough, just loan him out so he stays happy at the club and then sell him for profit? That might be an issue. Max Engel's not going to get minutes all of a sudden. He's probably been my best player, you know, in terms of like player roles. You know, Wickham has now developed into a player that just isn't good enough to be in on my bench, but he wants to be and he's unhappy. You know, I've got options. That's the thing, I've got options. Like, people getting bids and it's just like, well, what do we do? Like, it makes it hard now. You know, like, Nico hasn't played a game, which is great, but he's been getting bids, and, you know, Martin's just joined and has already complained about first team football, and I'm like, mate, just, you know, give me a chance. It's a very weird situation that we find ourselves in. But yeah, I'm leaning towards the go that, like, people, like, if Andy gets another big, you know, a bid, I might just go, you know what, if someone gives me 200k, it's money, get rid of him, right? If, you know, people come in here for, you know, Stefan's been getting bids and he's unhappy because he wants to join and play in, you know, the top flight. There may be a way that I can tell him that maybe we'll go up and we just have to go up this season, which I don't want to do particularly for the growth of the boys, but maybe that's what we have to do. But maybe it might just get to a stage where all these guys I've just signed, like Pablo Valdez has come in as a regular starter. Back in the division below when I signed him, this guy would have been nailed on right back, nailed on centre back, because look, you know, 9s and 10s and all that were enough to get you around with those physicals. In this division, he's not even good enough to really sit on the bench. So, yeah, like Pablo Valdez is one of those ones that's like, another one of the new signings. So that's why I stopped scouting, because I could see this happening. Now that we're getting to this situation, as of next season, I will probably start scouting again, because my scouts are now going to be able to compare people to Batson and Jeppe Hansen. So I'm going to know straight off the bat. If they're of that level, yeah, bring them in. If they're not, then, well, they're not really going to feature. So, yeah. The thing is that my development centre, yet again, my youth candidates screen, you know, is like, yet again, we're meant to get good attacking midders, wingers, and strikers. Great, not a problem. That's good for me. Maybe it's time that I just start looking from within my own youth, and the only players that we sign are first-team regulars. Might be the way to go. But then you get into this trap where it's like, oh, this guy's not a first-team regular, but he's going to be better than what we've got. And that's kind of how I ended up signing 25 players. It's my own fault that we're copying this. It's hurting my dynamics. Like, the club atmosphere keeps going up and down. That goes up and down. And I've not had cohesion past parity of this save. That may be because it's a younger team, and I don't know why that has an impact, but apparently a young team can't cohese. You know, they don't have cohesion. Or it's an issue that, you know, my training and resting players, and I've actually got like some new schedules in. I don't know. Send help with that. I still don't know what to do. But yeah, look, in terms of the league, we played our opening game. We absolutely dominated St. Pauli and lost 3-0. Might as well recap that while we're here. Just, yeah, there you go. 13 shots, 6 on target. Half time, they had 1 shot, 1 on target, 1 goal. And I was like, yep. And they scored an 89th and 92nd minute to make it 3-0. So completely against the run of play, but is what is. But yeah, look, so we have a lot of unhappy players. The dynamics are suffering. What ones would you sell? I'm thinking Ricardo Wickham can go. I'm thinking Andy, as much as I don't want him, can leave. You know, I'm thinking John DeClute can go. I think Martin's one I want to keep, because I actually look at Martin and go, man, if this guy became quick, what a fullback. And I actually look at him and go, man, this guy could be the fullback that you really want to have. So, yeah. Interesting times. Let me know what you would do. But I think I'm leaning into the situation of, let's just cut out the shit. I'm gonna say the word shit. Let's cut out the shit. Cut out the people that don't want to be here, and just play a whole heap of our youth players. And if that means we fall from 2nd, 3rd on the table to 11th, because we got on a massive losing streak, at least we could say we stayed up, and at least we could say we played the kids. Like, the under 19 youth guys that have come through our own youth can take kids. I think that's the best way to go about it, and cut out a lot of these guys that are unhappy, that do probably have the potential to be here, but we're just going to sell for a profit and just get on with it. Welcome back, YouTube. As you can see, we currently sit 6th in the table, and the mutiny has taken its toll on results. I will just say straight off the bat that the mutiny has calmed down, you know, like, let's just go through it. So, where is Joel? Joel is now happy at the football club. We've tied him down to a newer deal. Once St. Pauli, of all teams, once St. Pauli dropped their interest, he's like, oh, St. Pauli no longer interested in me, I don't want to go. Considering he was kicking up a stink to go and join the likes of Schalke, who are in the Bundesliga, St. Pauli dropping the interest seemed a bit weird that he was happy after that, considering that we're ahead of them on the table or close around them now that we've kind of dropped off a little bit. We are not ahead of him anymore, but it's a points difference. You can see that the league is coming quite close. Other people like Stefan dropped his was okay. They didn't join a couple of the other teams in the Bundesliga, which was fine. We had people like Annie Barber get a little bit upset and then it'd be okay, wanting to go back to America to play for Austin, who's still interested in them as well, but he's kind of dropped that one pretty quickly. We've had people complaining about first team minutes like Tim, who just scored a hat-trick, by the way, so he may be playing for the foreseeable future. He's been in great form. People like Martin, we've had a lot of guys just complain about either first team football, guys complain that they want to leave to play in a high division, etc, etc. Luckily for us, because the dynamic of the squad, which is a thing that I want to get onto, is not like massive, unless it's Max and or Stefan getting upset, really we can talk them out of it or just ignore it and they get happy again. It's just unfortunate that happened during a very busy period, and we'll recap those games in a second. Second thing is team cohesion. Now, I have been given a training calendar from AJ, who basically just said that I use this for all my team cohesion, and bang, straight away it gets it straight up, not a problem. And we've been running this for a month and a half to 2 months, and nothing has changed. We work on community outreach, we have team bonding, and we do that twice a week, and that's meant to, the best team cohesion whilst giving your players a rest. I will say that this training cycle does make my players slightly more tired, probably because we're not at that elite level with the fitness. So guys like Yippee Hansen and that seem to not be able to run out 90. But if it makes my team cohesion go up, that would be great. The problem is that we're doing this in December, and the last 2 weeks of December where we put this in, cohesion got to parity. I was like, oh my God, it's growing. And then we obviously had mid-season break, it dropped off, and since then, no matter what I do, even though the players are blending well together, I can't get it up. And the thing with team cohesion is being average. You can see all those downward, points there. The thing is, when you have good team cohesion or great team cohesion or full team cohesion, it allows players to be a little bit more flexible. And in a 4-3-3, you need players to be able to come in, players that overlap, players to drop in, not the striker just sitting there and being all rigid and structured. You don't mind your 9 dropping off the centre back to pick up the ball as an out ball. You don't mind your 9 spreading wide to maybe pick up the ball if you have to go long, right? But you also want your wingers to come in, and it allows the wingers to pick and choose when they come in and go out. It just makes the team more fluid. If they've got more team cohesion, there's upward positives to they become more creative, have more vision, more freedom on the park, and able then to move in and out and interchange with each other better. If you have very low team cohesion, players actually hindered by that. Their vision becomes worse in game. Their movement becomes just very structured. They only stay in the same spots that they're assigned to. Where when it's average, it kind of does sometimes and sometimes not. Like sometimes we get some unreal football and you go, wow, like a team that's fully cohesed, and sometimes you just get the stock standard stuff, right? I need to get that up. I don't think we're ever going to be in a position to go up or grow the same. This does not grow. Now, my only issue is if this is bugged out because the kids are all young and then it never grows, we're never going to win anything. Right? We're never going to win anything with it being that low. So that's something to watch out for. It is slowly getting on my nerves now. It's been a year and a bit. I thought maybe because the kids are young, but they just need to spend more time together. Most of these players have been playing together for a year and a half. You know how to play with people after a year and a half. Trust me, I've played with people for all my life. So yeah, anyhow, in terms of results, we have turned the corner, which is good. But have a look at this. I'm going to include this FCM game here. We were 2-0 up and then threw it away. And then since then, we lost 5 games in a row. Mates knocked us out the cup. We didn't even look like playing there. We scored one late-ish. St. Pauli smacked me in the league, 3-0. And yet again, it's going to sound crazy, but, bit more possession, 13 shots, 6 on target. You have better expected goal ratio, and chances just fly in for them. They scored 2 goals in the 88th and 92nd minute there as well. And you're just like, wow, you got absolutely done. They were 1 shot, 1 goal. When they did get through. Duisburg beat me again, home and away, a team that's favourite to go down, have beat me home and away. Shows that we have a bit of an issue. Played well against Fortuna Dusseldorf, just didn't do enough, and then we went down to 10 men. With 10 men, had a massive chance with Jelsane. Obviously, we got beat by Mainz. And then Dynamo Dresden played out of our skin. Played out of our skin. We're the better side. Went 1-0 down, scored pretty much straight away to make it 1-0, and then conceded again. And yeah, but I say we played well, possession. I just remember us having good chances in that game. No, it doesn't matter. It's on stream. If you want to go watch the VOD of me losing every game last night, that's fine. We then played Jens Renberg. We've seemed to turn it around. They weren't particularly great, so it was nice. And then FCSN, we did very well. Last thing I am going to touch on. The club is devastated by me using the youth system. I don't understand that considering it's a youth save. So obviously I was bringing in my own players last year and they were delighted with the youth team. They were delighted that Yeppy was playing, everyone was playing. right? They're now not happy with the fact that Yeppy's playing and Ollie Christensen's playing and all these guys. They're all 17, 18-year-olds that are being developed from our club's youth system because we brought them in at a young age. Like, it literally says when you transfer someone in of a young age, it literally says that it fulfills the, let's just go by anyone, right? It fulfills the, what was it called? Would say, if the scout report was there, that it fulfills the yeah, there it was, matches the new signing philosophies. It fulfills it, right? And you're like, oh yeah, what ones does it fulfill? And it fulfills signing youth players and people not under 30. And it's just like, well, if the game's telling you that signing these guys and playing them fulfills this objective, right, which I've never had an issue with because I have done this a lot of my saves and it has grown, right, and people have been happy, is great. Second thing is I'm getting the lights, like, there's been injuries at the back and Bernard Berger's played the last month, right? Joel Muller gets the occasional game. What else has gone on here that's young player? Joel Sane has played 17 times in the league this season. He's my own youth prospect. First year out of the youth intake. So I don't understand why that one there is bugging out and saying that whatever. I have seen last season people be on A+, but get the sack because the club vision of developing players for the club's youth system was a worry to the board and they sacked him. Now, if I get the sack here, after spending 3 seasons here, on an A+, and may or may not get promoted this season, I don't think we will. I feel like we're full short, but it's a good thing to have this good of a season because it's a nice place to build on for next year. I will be pretty livid. I'm not going to lie. I'll be pretty upset with that because, in short, I'm doing the best I can. We are delighted. We are by far exceeding expectations, and we are playing youth players and young kids. It's a youth challenge. Like, the board need to realise that it's not that I'm playing guys that are 26 years of age. I've got literally one that's 25 and one that's 31. And they're the club captain and the club vice captain and the ex-club captain. And they're here to teach the youth. Like, everyone else, our average age of the squad's 18. It may even be 17 now. I'm not sure. It's probably 18 or 19 considering the couple of older boys, right? 19. Like, are you serious? My key player is a 17-year-old. Anyhow, look, I don't know if maybe we'll just play the kids a little bit more and hopefully it changes. If I get the sack because of the club vision, I'm telling you guys all right now, I normally would never do this. If we get the save, it's the end of the save. It's a natural finish, right? I will probably reinstate myself with a different manager into the save here at 1860 Munich because I will not be able to comprehend how, if this was in real life, and the real board would turn around and say you're not playing enough youth players considering you have the average age squad of 19 and everyone but 2 players and one of them doesn't even start is over the age of 20. You know, 2 players in the whole roster over the age of 20. That means like 9 of your starting 11 in the worst case scenario is going to be what, 19, 20 or lower. Anyway, I digress. So interesting time here. We have copped a lot of, the squad dynamics and the happiness go down. Seems to be on the mend now because a lot of players are happy after the 1st of February when the transfer window closed. Great. Team cohesion won't go up. I'm trying this new training tactic. It did go up slightly in December, then holidays killed it. So yeah, and obviously the club vision makes no sense considering I'm playing a youth-only challenge and I'm just literally playing people 18 years of younger, 19 years of younger. I think one maybe 20 or close to it that maybe played a couple of games this season. But yeah, worst case scenario, 9 of the 11 players are going to be 20 years or younger and have been developing through my own youth intake or bringing them in at a younger age that they are considered my own youth intake players. Anyhow, hopefully that'll fix itself up and we'll see what goes on. But from Dame and everybody else here, very interesting little episode. A bit of a blimp. We've thrown away probably a promotion chance. It is still close enough in the league as you can see there. But, I don't think we're going to be good enough to go up. Anyhow, we'll see what goes on next episode. A youth intake and a recap of how the season concludes. And if it does go down to the final day or a playoff or whatever, you guys will definitely get to see all of that because, just like in our first season where we got promoted, you'll see our final day, live comp if needs be. Anyway, from Damon and everybody else here, I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.